What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video with Unity and ChatGPT. The last one, we pretty much spent most of the episode refactoring our moving platform script. So let's make this one a little more interesting than that. And I got a couple things written down here on what we kind of want to implement in this series. Just a few ideas here. So if you want to quickly read through these. We want to add a nice scenic background that matches our main menu. So this is the background we have in our levels. It's nothing to be very proud of. It's kind of, it looks like some sort of placeholder instead of an actual background that you can appreciate. Whereas if you go to the main menu and look at the scene we have here, you see all those nice structures and trees. It looks much more lively. So maybe if we can implement something like this, that would be that would be cool. We don't have any weapons, so we should definitely add some sort of a weapon in here. And the reason why I wrote this part, maybe start with some fruit throwing, is because we have a bunch of fruit assets. So we could make some use out of those. We can add our some sort of a life system or some sort of a health for our player, and then just have a bit of a debate there. And should we go with like 3 lives, 5 lives, all that stuff, or should we have like a health bar, pros and cons of each? So we could ask ChatGPT what it thinks. We should add some sort of a boss. We should definitely modify our buttons because right now, I mean, these are kind of kind of want to use the word hideous. These buttons are not the best looking buttons out there. And by the way, why is our pause menu visible? We should definitely make this pause menu invisible. So let me uncheck and go back to our scene. Much better. But yeah, these buttons are quite atrocious if you ask me. So we should definitely fix that. Where was I? Notepad. Add pause menu. We've done this, so let me remove that. And persist score, high score. I think this is what we want to cover on this episode for sure, because we've been talking about it. Unlock state and or double jump that we already have. Double jump. I don't know what I meant by unlock state. Anyway, so I think we should start with persist score. Hopefully, it's not going to be too much work. So, before we do that, let's let Gemini know that our moving platform, after all the refactor we've done and all these tests we performed, everything looks fine, so all tests are successful. Let's move on to persisting our score and forget about a high score. Uh, Score and power up. Should we persist power up? I don't know. I think we should probably start with score first and think about the power up portion a little bit more. And I might as well. I'm not sure if I want to persist power up. What do you suggest? And the reason is because getting to the power up in the next level is not always tricky, so I don't want the player to be going through all these little, you know, tiles, climbing to the top, and then ending up going to a power up that the player already collected in the past level. So that was the thought process there behind not wanting to persist the power up, but let's see what ChatGPT has to say about it. Alrighty, so ChatGPT says persist double jump across levels during the current run, but don't save it across app launches. Otherwise, earning it in level 2 and immediately losing it in level 3 feels arbitrary, though we should implement score first and handle already owned power-up pickups afterward. Alright, so for score, use these rules. Completing a level carries the score forward. I agree. Restarting, retrying, restores the score from the beginning, preventing infinite coin farming, for sure. Cool. Starting a new game, reset score to 0. I agree. Closing the app resets the run for now. I agree with all that. So create RunState for, this is the script. This is a plain static class, not a component, so don't attach it to anything. I'll just copy it. So let's go to our script, and we're gonna do an empty script, empty C# script. Name it game state or something. What is that? Run state. Run state. And open it up. And paste our code. Okay, let's quickly review what's going on here. So we got two static variables here, score and score at level start. Okay. Um, I gotta tell ChatGPT to stop doing these two-line code blocks there. Okay. I don't know if I like the way you put code into multiple lines when it can be single line, such as this instead of this. Yo, what is even happening here? Plus, I don't even know what this block actually means. Runtime initialize on load method. Runtime initialize load type dot subsystem registration. Okay. Also, could you explain what this line does? Alright, yeah. It'll keep short expression on one line moving forward. This is a Unity attribute telling Unity to call the method immediately below it automatically when a new game session starts before any scene loads. Interesting. Runtime initialize on load method. Runtime initialize load type dot subsystem registration. Its main purpose is preventing static score value from leaking between play mode sessions. When Unity's domain reload is disabled, it also ensures that score starts clean if you test a level directly instead of entering through main menu.start game. K. Telling Unity to call the method immediately below it automatically when a game session starts before any scene loads, so that would be the reset state method. Okay, so it's just resetting the scores whenever a new game session starts. Okay. That makes sense, I guess. Alright, so reset state gets called because of this. Okay, start new run. Also, we're resetting everything. Begin level. Score at level start is equal to score. Cool. Add score. Score passing the amount, and it just adds it to our score. Finally, restore level, start score. Okay, cool. It just sets the score to our score at level start. Simple. What else we're doing? Update Game Manager. So Game Manager is going to stop tracking scores as it does now. Domain reload is disabled. Okay. Anyway, Game Manager. So we're going to get rid of this guy. Change start. So we're going to have some different start methods. Alrighty. Update score UI. Just add this. RunState begin level. Remember, RunState is our script here. And begin level will just score at level start is equal to score. So whenever Game Manager has the start function run, we set our score at level start to score. Alrighty. Change add score to this. Game Manager add score. So now we're calling the Run Manager's add score functionality or method. Change update score UI. And we're going to copy this part. And scene local game manager still controls the scene's UI, while the run state owns the score that survives scene changes. Cool. Reset score when starting a new game. Main menu dot start game. Main menu dot start game. Where would that be? Would that be in a different script, of course. This is what we're doing. So run state dot start new run. And remember, if we're starting a new game, that everything I assume it gets reset. So start new run. Yep, score is equal to 0. Time scale looks fine. So why doesn't it auto indent fix? Anyway, well, you got too much expectations out of technology. Don't reset it merely when main menu loads. Resetting when start game is pressed will allow you to display the final run score on the menu later. Don't reset it. Wait. Don't reset it merely when main menu loads. Resetting when start game is pressed will allow you to display the final run score on the menu later. Start game is pressed will allow you to display the final run score on the menu later. Okay. Guess we'll find out what it means by that. Why would I want to see? I guess it might want us to add like some sort of a text box in the main menu and then show the final run score there. But I could be wrong. Step 4, restore the level start score when restarting. Man, you in UI manager restart level. Go to our UI manager. Why do I not like ChatGPT's coding instructions? In UI manager restart level. Restart level. So you got restore game time, keeping that. And scene manager active scene. See again, like it just loves doing multiple lines for no apparent reason. So we're calling the restore level start score here, which will score is score. Oh, okay. So every time you restart the level manually, it just resets your score to what it was when you first moved on to the level. Okay, so it doesn't reset it back to 0. It resets it back to whatever score you entered the level with. I like that. I was a little confused about that, but now it makes sense. Okay, and that's about it. This applies to both the pause menu, restart button, and game over retry button because they use the same method. True. So save everything. And let's see how long compiling takes. It's probably going to be a while. Yeah, if I take that back, that was super fast. Alright, so test sequence, collect 5 coins in level 1, complete level 1. Level 2 should begin at 5 points. Collect 3 more, score should now show 8. Restart level 2, score should return to 5. Collect coins and die, retry should also restore 5. Return to main menu and press start game. Alright, cool. Let's test everything out. $28 is points. Alright, points is also still at 28. Come on. And wishing these guys were so satisfying sound effect I added. Okay, what did it want me to do? Restart the level? I'll do that in level 3. Level 2 is... I don't want to restart level 2. Alright, so 56 we start with. And let's collect a bunch of coins then. Restart. Alright, pause and restart. 56 looks good. Alright, let's die. Alright, back at 56. So everything looks pretty good. I think the last thing you had. Alright, the last thing should be return to main menu and press start game. And we start back at 0. So, main menu. Alright, yeah, 0. So that was a big success there. We now have our persistent score tracking system, which is great. Cool. Alright, so now what do we have? We got these goals that we want to talk to Gemini about. Oh, shit, ChatGPT about. Cool. The scoring system works great. Persistent scoring system works exactly as intended and passed all tests. Um, a few things I want to tackle, add to the roadmap. And now let's add those instead of the tiles to match the main menu. And you know what? I'll add this at the top. Let's see. Maybe start with fruit throwing since we already have some fruit sprites. Add lives, add health, add boss, good looking buttons, and remind me if there are things we talked about previously that I didn't include here. Okay, so I totally did not follow the order at all in the response, but lives versus health recommends a health system with 3 hearts. I think it misunderstood what I meant by health. I meant like a health bar, like a health bar for the player instead of like having lives. Anyway, I like the 3 hearts idea. Um, cool. Health. Okay, I guess it did understand it, right? It supports weapons, bosses, damage types, healing, knockbacks, and invincibility frames. I don't know what that means by invincibility frames, but more systems and balancing work. The cons mostly just limits retries, can't frustrate mobile players, adds little to combat with the lives. Both strong arcade structure is the pros and cons is unnecessary complexity for this game. I agree. But maybe bosses should have the health bar. Suggested rules starts each level with 3 hearts. I like that idea. I was thinking of like persist, how many hearts you have on each level, but I like the idea of like starting each level with 3 hearts. Enemy contact and ordinary spikes remove 1 heart. Player receives brief invulnerability and knockback after damage. Invulnerability, okay, maybe like freezes or something. Falling into a pit remains instant death. Okay, cool, cool. Reaching 0 health opens game over. Mm, okay. Restarting restores full health and no finite lives counter. Retries remain unlimited. Updated roadmap. Okay, health is the correct foundation because both weapons and the boss require a proper damage system. So roadmap of the project moving forward starts with the health and damage system. 3 hearts in the HUD. Next we go with the double jump persistence decision. Cool. Persisted between levels. Fruit throwing weapon. Start with one fruit projectile. Throw button for Android. Direction based and player facing. Cool. Cooldown rather than ammunition initially. Definitely cooldown. Definitely cooldown. And wouldn't even be like too much of a cooldown either. Maybe like a second apart. That's what I'm thinking. Like you want it to be satisfying, right? Give enemies health instead of every attack being an instant kill. Cool. Enemy improvements. Replace position-based stomp detection with contact direction and downward velocity. I mean, it's cool. Okay, fine. Add a real ledge detection eventually. The raised edges currently prevent falls. Yeah, true. Add damage reactions compatible with fruit projectiles. Okay. Scenic backgrounds would be coming up. Scenic artwork matching the main menu. I would like that very much. Give each level some visual distinction. Parallax layers, I don't know what that is. Boss, build only after health, damage, and weapons exist. Multiple attack patterns, boss health UI. Distinct phases or increased aggression. Proper win state integration and button slash UI polish is the last one. Previously discussed items that are missing from our list. Centralized playing, pause, dead, or one state to prevent conflicting win, death, or pause events. I don't want to bore you guys, but let's see what it's talking about real quick. Alright, so the strongest immediate path is health, then fruit weapon, then enemy combat, and finally boss. And we're going to do all these cleanup slash improvements that are not going to be, fun um, feature type episodes. These are going to be improvements under the hood that are not very glamorous. But anyway, I hate how easy it is to just select and click on things in ChatGPT. I wish it's possible to disable it. Hopefully it is. But yeah, this was not intentional. It's almost been like 30 minutes, so I think I'll just leave this episode for now because it's getting pretty late for me. So I'll see you in the next episode, and we're going to start working on our health system. All right, take care.